Today, I finally have you guys a first ride on a 2025 CFMoto 675SS. You guys have not stopped asking about it, and I finally got the opportunity. Now, I've never ridden this bike, but after today, I should have a much better idea of what this thing is all about. At the end of the video, I'm going to give it a chase score, and we'll see how it does on the leaderboards. I'm Chase on Two Wheels. Welcome to a first ride. CFMoto, I see what you're trying to do. Keep your motorcycle safe. Nuh-uh, not from me. Guys, this thing has no business sounding that good, and that is only partially of how good it sounds. If you get it out on the road, as you're going to see in this video, it sounds even freaking better. It almost sounds as good as that discount on getting a Cardo, listening to your music and talking to your buddies in your helmets. Almost. All right, so guys, that's what it looks like, and that is what it sounds like. Now, before we get on this absolutely beautiful motorcycle, we get to thank the sponsor of this video, which is my favorite motorcycle phone mount, and that's Quad Lock. Guys, I've been using Quad Lock for what feels like ever. They are the only phone mount I trust my phone on. I used to use one of those mounts that kind of just clamps my phone on there, and I have lost a phone with that before, so I don't trust anything like that anymore. I only trust Quad Lock. I love these things, one, because they have a mount that can fit any motorcycle. The 675SS is actually kind of tough to get a phone mount on. You don't have the fork stem thing, you don't have a bar, but what I found out is you can use their brake reservoir mount. It just goes into the slots that your brake reservoir is, and then you have the mount there. That matches up to the Quad Lock phone case here. You rotate your phone a little 90 degrees and then rotate it back, and you'll hear a click. That phone now is part of that motorcycle, guys. It ain't going nowhere. And then if you want to release it, you hit the push button, rotate it, and the phone comes off. It's incredibly simple. And guys, I'm telling you, I have wrecked multiple times with Quad Lock and my phone on motorcycles, and the phone's always there. When I say your phone is part of the motorcycle when you lock it in, trust me, this thing's not going anywhere. I really appreciate Quad Lock supporting the channel for so long, and I love supporting a product that I authentically use every single day. If you guys want a discount, I'll have a link for you in the description down below. Without further ado, let's get on this bike and go for a ride. And of course, if you guys hate ads, I totally feel you. I don't like them either. All you got to do is join our membership here on Chase on Two Wheels on YouTube, and we give you guys ad-free first rides. And guess what? It costs $1 a month. How many of you guys would forget about $1 a month? You probably would. You know what I wouldn't forget? All the support from you guys to allow me to make the high quality content that we're making. So if you guys want to support the channel, that is a fantastic way to do it, and it gets you around ads. Alrighty guys, we're on the motorcycle here. I'm going to get it cranked up and make sure I'm in neutral. I am not. Glad I waited. We got a little easy one button start. Boom. God, this bike sounds good stock. I don't understand it. So guys, I'm 5'10", got a 32-inch inseam, and I have bent legs here. The seat kind of tapers in and allows me to easily get my legs around the gas tank, and I think that's helping me get my feet on the ground. So we'll check the settings out here. You guys see we've got a really awesome screen here, but you'll notice there's no mode button. This bike has no modes. We do have selectable traction control. You can see the traction control up here. We're currently in 1, and we can go to 2. And if we press and hold it, the traction control goes off. So those are the only traction control modes that you technically have. Also, I want to make something super clear before I get going on this first ride. This is a first ride about this motorcycle. I am not going to be discussing the app integration and the controversy around the app. One, mostly because I haven't talked to CFMoto and I haven't done a lot of research with it, so I don't really have a lot of information on that. And also, I'm not a big fan of using fear-mongering to get clicks on my videos. So I'm going to be focusing on this motorcycle and reviewing it as a motorcycle, because that's all it is. If you guys want another video, more in-depth video about all the controversy seeming stuff around the app, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to do some research and actually bring you guys information and not just try to get you scared and click. Anyways, guys, so I think that's everything here. Let's just get this thing going, man. You guys have been so excited about this motorcycle. There has been no other motorcycle y'all have asked for a first ride more than the 675 SS. All right, the 675 SS first ride has officially begun. Who would have thought I'd have finally been able to bring you guys this video? My God, y'all did not stop asking. Guys, I'm kind of fascinated with today's video. CFMoto comes into the middleweight sport bike group, undercuts all its competitors by like $1,000, gives everybody these really cool little accessories on the bike. I'm fascinated to find out where they cut the $1,000 out of this motorcycle, because it was certainly not in the looks department. If you guys are curious for competitors of this motorcycle, you're looking at Honda's CBR 650R, you're looking at Suzuki's Gixxator, you're looking at Triumph's Daytona 660, and of course Kawasaki's Ninja 650, as well as, I guess, the Yamaha R7. So it's got a lot of competitors, but this is a first ride. Let's talk about body position on this thing. And you are going to be in a pretty aggressive body position on this, guys. My legs, as you guys can see from the camera car, are very tucked in right now. And then my upper half is leaned forward and my arms are pretty far down and forward from me. You are definitely going to be in, you know, whatever you would expect the sport bike aggressive body position to be. Overall, I think it kind of fits the look of the motorcycle. It's definitely the vibe it's going for, and the seat's actually pretty wide and kind of comfortable. So, you know, if I get just like locked in this position, I'm actually not really that bad, you know, comfort wise. I do think your lower back would probably hurt over a long period of time if you're going to spend all day on this thing. But I think overall, I'm not really surprised by anything other than the seat, where I'm surprised at how comfortable the seat is. Now, this is our mode change light. Typically, I would show you guys the other riding modes that the bike has, but this bike actually doesn't have any rider modes at all. It's just, you get the bike as is. But what I can tell you guys is how, what's powering this motorcycle. It's going to be CFMoto's 675cc inline 3-cylinder. So yes, this is a triple. It's going to be good for about 95 horsepower and I believe 52 foot-pounds of torque, coming in at a weight of, I believe, 400, like mid-4s, with a 4-gallon gas tank. So this truck apparently wants to... Oh, look at that! He waved, which makes everything you do on a car on the road okay. Oh, Lord, I think we traded the... If you guys watched the last first ride of the Tracer 9... I showed you guys the secret or the surprise at the end of the first ride route, or the back half, and it looks like we just traded that for more construction here at the beginning. So this route's never gonna get rid of oh excuse me for existing, Mr. F-150. God, please don't utilize your blinker. Lord help, man. Cars just don't care about us. Please. Oh, yo, a blinker to go back in the lane. Okay. Let's see if we get this green light, and then we'll talk about City Performante. City Performante. I feel like I have to talk Italian next to the Ferrari dealership, sorry. All right, so guys, let's talk about the 675 SS as a city bike and in the city. So, first thing I was really surprised with is how nimble this thing is. When you're in a leaned over body position, most of the time those motorcycles are very precise and everything, but they're not easy to kind of like wiggle around traffic. You know, handlebarred naked motorcycle is really good for that. But this bike has no problem just getting thrown around the lane. It's very happy with doing whatever you need it to. Are we having another lane end? Oh my goodness gracious. But that just gives me another opportunity to show you guys you can really throw this thing around, and it is very content with that. I am kind of surprised by that. I guess maybe my expectations were off, but you know, normally a clip-on setup like this does not allow for that, but it hadn't had a problem. And the Range Rover is over this light. Oh hell no. No, damn it. Not the okay, never mind. Now, guys, one of the things that is going to suck about this motorcycle in the city is going to be that body position. Your legs are so tucked up. When you come to a stop, you are going to have to, like, get your leg untucked and get to the ground. It's small little stuff like that, but it is annoying when you're on a sport bike like this, riding around traffic. It's a little annoying, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You expect that. As far as power delivery on the triple, you guys can see I'm in second gear going 35. And I've got power ready to go. It is a very torquey, very fun engine. And with this bike having no rider modes, it does make me want to caution beginner riders. I know they'll probably see the price tag of this bike, which, if you guys didn't know, $8,000 on the CFMoto 675 SS. And it might be tempting to just get this motorcycle to start with. And I mean, it has ABS and it has traction control. I love that. But without rider aids or for power delivery, your only matter of controlling this motorcycle is through the throttle. So I would just say be cautious. I would not recommend this as a beginner bike for sure. Having 95 horsepower at your fingertips at all times is not necessarily the best idea. 95 horsepower, of course, plenty to get yourself in trouble. Especially when you pair that with the quick shifter up that the bike has. It is very capable of going quickly, especially when you're low in the revs and you have the power on tap. The bike will throw you back, so you just need to be careful. Power-wise, though, it is kind of nice, man. I think parallel twins are probably in the most fun engine class because they have the most punch and that gets you excited. But triples do a really good job of being that middle ground power plant that kind of can do good at everything. Parallel twins are super torquey and fun, but the power typically dies off quickly. And then inline fours are just a boring thing to ride unless you're just revving the absolute shit out of them. Triples find this really nice little middle ground where they still got some of that fun torque down low that'll kind of, you know, get you throwing back, but they still hold a lot of power higher up. So I think it's a pretty decent power plant. And obviously you guys heard in the sound check, but I also think this bike just sounds great stock. They did a really good job of making this bike sound fun and exciting. And I think the exhaust on this motorcycle is set up in a very clean way. Like it's, you know, it seems seamless on the side of the bike. It seems seamless. God, I am a master of vocabulary sometimes. I surprise myself. All right, is this light? Okay, we're back to normal with the lights. Last light, this thing let me go through pretty quickly, and I was like, oh shit, I'm not ready for the 40 to 80 pull. The 40 to 80 pull, I will say, is going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, I had to ride this bike home from the dealership that I picked it up, because obviously, if I didn't tell you guys, we have this as a loaner, so I'm going to have this thing for a little while. But whenever I ride a bike before a first ride, I'm always babying the thing, because I don't want to really, you know, experience it all without being on camera with you guys. I just realized that the steering stabilizer that comes stock on the bike is adjustable. Oh, I can like adjust it like right here. Like that's all the way oh God, I didn't measure at all. That's super cool. Bro, on the fly, I can sit here and rotate the steering stabilizer to adjust it. Dang, I didn't know that. I found that out now. Well, if you guys are curious how fast the 2025 CFMoto 675 SS will go from 40 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour, We're gonna find out. The big question I gotta realize though is what gear do I want to do this in? Is this it's seeming like a second gear. Truck behind me is gonna be pissed off, but that's okay. We'll be out of your way in just a second, sir. Hold on. All right, guys, on your mark, get set, and go. That's 80 right there. Did a little skip from 77 to 80. Went from 77 to 81. God, that quick shifter is so useful. Thank you, Jesus. Or CFMoto, either one. What's the time on that? I feel like that's kind of a good solid time. I don't think it's going to shock anybody, but I think that's an acceptable 40 to 80 time. The power delivery was very weird on that 40 to 80. I felt an initial hit, and then it felt like it was kind of lugging through, and then I felt more power crank up afterwards. So I'm wondering if I should have done that in first gear. I'm not sure. We've got a red line of what looks like 10,500 or 11,000, so I wasn't really sure where to go. We might have to redo that 40 to 80 another day, but for now, that's our time. So guys, we're here on the highway. I've got the thing in 6th gear just chilling, and I'm really surprised right now with how comfortable the bike is. I've got extraordinarily little amounts of vibration in my handlebars and in my feet. I can't even really feel them. I'm having to like spidey sense my hands and my feet to feel that. But the bike is extremely stable right now with no vibration, very comfortable. I will say that windscreen is a little too low though. Even if I tuck in, I'm still getting the wind hitting me directly in my visor. So I would like to see that windscreen come up a little more so it's something I could tuck in behind, which is really the entire point of a windscreen, so that when I'm on a long straight or like a highway, I've got some protection. I don't really have that with this windscreen, so that kind of sucks. But one of the nice things that does allow me to do is I can just put my hand on the handlebar and the wind almost holds me up. So this is the most comfortable I've been the entire time because the wind's holding me up. The only thing I want to guard me from the wind is my head bobbling around a little bit. Power-wise, 6th gear going mid-80s, and I've got power to crank up and get around traffic. What's the truck doing? Are we just gonna exist in the middle lane? I guess so. You're not gonna be doing crazy stuff on this bike. I wouldn't imagine you'd want to go much faster than 120 or something like that. I don't know what the top speed is. I'm certainly not going to be testing that out for you guys today. But I'm going to be honest, that was actually way more pleasant than I expected the highway to be on this motorcycle. The stability part is what's really throwing me off. I did not expect it to be that comfortable. Let's get her slowed down a little bit and put her in the turn because suspension felt good there. Let's see how it feels here. Fucking locked, dude. Absolutely, like, locked. I don't understand CFMoto, dude. They're so strange. Fun amount of power. Dude, I don't... KYB front and rear suspension on this motorcycle. Reputable company. It is adjustable. As you can see from the little clickers here. Oh, let's just squeak in behind that truck. I only kind of ran the red. Okay, so we have a fun power plant that has more than ample power for everything you need to do on the street. Seems kind of fun and interesting at where the power is hitting to do something on the track. It's got adjustable KYB suspension that feels locked on. It was stable on the highway. Well, I could feel that ABS kicking in on the rear there. That's one of the things I am realizing. Brakes-wise, we have Chaseontwowheels brakes, which is, what is it, Spanish Brembo. I am feeling like I wish I had more brakes, but the bike's only got 100 miles on it. So part of that is, are they broken in yet or not? I'm not going to judge the brakes on their feel at the moment, but I will say currently I wish I got more stopping power. And I wish I had more feeling out of the brakes. That is my one, because we're on a sport bike, right? We're doing something sporty here, and the engine's super fun. The suspension feels good, but the brakes are not meeting all of the other. Oh, bro! Oh, I totally ruined this motorcycle. It could have easily done the 40 to 80 from first. Oh, I feel bad now. Crap. And there's nowhere else for me to test that here. Alright, you guys subscribe to the channel. One of the future videos, since this is a loaner, I want to do a retributionary 40 to 80 pull and start in first. I think the time will be very different. Interesting. I thought it felt a little less than it could. Okay, that does make me feel a little better. It's my first ride. Give me a break. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's my first time on this thing. Dude, listen to that idle. I got earplugs in, and I can still hear the grumble of this thing. Oh, that's awesome. It would have been funny, like on a TikTok video, I would have done that thinking it's my bike, and then like a big Harley or something pulls up next to me, and it was actually him revving. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that'd be a funny video. I wonder if I can do the 40 to 80 right here. Probably get a ticket. Probably shouldn't do this. Alright, we're gonna try it. Oh, Kia Soul! God! Whatever. No, we're not doing it. Okay, let's talk transmission real quick. I really like the transmission on this motorcycle. It feels really locked in when I'm shifting. I love the upshifter. I do wish it was up and down, but I'm not going to complain on an $8,000 motorcycle that has an upshifter that feels fantastic. It's even impressive when you're going from first to second. I have not had the quick shifter drop into neutral going first to second a single time yet. That is impressive. The quick shifter obviously is fantastic. I think I've already mentioned that. It's very smooth, and it does not upset the motorcycle at all. I almost want a little more hit out of the quick shifter just to let me know. But overall, I'm super stoked on that quick shifter. And I really don't mind it not having a quick shift down, because then it gets you practicing your rev matching and stuff like that. It makes it for a fun riding experience. Yeah, you get the revs up, and then the quick shifter, you actually start feeling that hit. So maybe I just need to rev it higher. All right, so guys, gosh, we gotta get going with this thing. So let's talk about the controls. All the controls on this motorcycle are gonna be identical, or seemingly identical, to the 450 SS, if you've experienced that at all. No issue with the controls at all. They don't feel like crazy premium, like a very expensive Triumph, but I had a 450 SS for quite a while, and I never had any issues with the controls. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of control-wise is the blinker. So when I hit the blinker, hitting the blinker is fine, like initiating it, but canceling the blinker, I want a click or something. The button press to cancel is just kind of ambiguous. Yeah, I had a feeling this guy needed to get in this lane. Yeah, when I go to cancel the blinker, it's just kind of a mush of a push. And I'm like, did it cancel? And that has led me to ride with my blinker on a lot of the time, because I'll press it a little bit, but I don't press it far enough because it's such an ambiguous little press. So that's kind of a note I have. Like, one of the other CFMotos I rode, it had a click on there somewhere in the blinker to cancel. So I don't know what happened there. Moving on, the levers are blacked out. They're nice. They're adjustable. I think they're in a good position. They feel nice. I do wish the brake had more feel, like I mentioned earlier. I just want, maybe I've ridden too many bikes with Brembo levers at this point, but having a sporty motorcycle, I want to have a lot of feel in my fingers on the brake, and I'm just not getting that. The clutch is very light. I have no issues with that. It feels good. It feels like it matches everything with the motorcycle. Nothing stands out. We do have a beautiful 5-inch TFT display, full color. I mean, bro, CFMoto is just rocking this out. We got a traction control button here. On the fly, I can change traction control from 1 to 2. And then if I hold it down, I imagine, yep, I can turn traction control off. That's going to be your main like mode setting change you can do. I love that it's such an easy press. Other things to note about the screen, and this goes for all the CFMotos that I've ridden, their dash interaction with what you're doing on the controls is incredibly responsive. I mean, like, look how fast I'm pressing this. and it's incredible. We got RPM at the top. We have tire pressure and temperature on screen stock. We got fuel gauge, we got gear indicator, speedometer. I mean, they've got everything on that screen that you could possibly need. I mean, that's kind of where CFMoto really like steps apart from other motorcycle brands. They give you guys a lot of things that are really nice to have in a bike that literally costs less than all of its competitors. It's a very odd place. From what I've understood and from what I've talked with CFMoto about, they are basically undercutting the pricing on their motorcycles in order to get market share from the other companies. So it's essentially just you getting a deal on a bike that should cost more than it does. It's fascinating what they put inside of these things. Oh, and you got to charge for it. My God, there's so much. Guys, we got to do the chase score. My God, I ran out of time. Shit, sorry. Real quick, before the chase score, I will note that in first gear in low speed scenarios, the bike is very punchy. Like, so the only reason I say that is to caution you guys. For an experienced rider like me, it is what it is. It's just that's how the bike is. But that is one of the reasons I'm not pushing this for a beginner motorcycle, because when you're a beginner, you don't have that delicate clutch hand where you can finesse that clutch open and closed, and you could often find yourself like I found myself early on in my riding career, not being smooth with the clutch, and you have one clutch pop with that torquey of a bike low in the revs, and you're going to lose control of that machine very quickly. So that's the only reason I say that I don't love this as a beginner motorcycle. Also, I was reading some stuff online that impressed people. You guys let me know, is this impressive for a motorcycle? We're in neutral. I'm not touching any levers. Is that an impressive thing? Do we really love this, or do we really care? I didn't think that was that big of a deal, but I'm seeing online people think that's a big deal. So if it is, awesome. If it's not, it can do it. Guys, sorry. There's one more thing that I kind of noticed while I was off the motorcycle. So you guys see how right here my foot wants to go right there to put the kickstand down, but the kickstand little switch is back here. So when I go to get off the motorcycle, I don't go back. I go towards the middle here, and for whatever reason, I want there to be a kickstand thing here. I don't know if you care about that, but guess what? I do, and that's why I told you.
Alright guys, so let's do the chase score for the 2025 CFMoto 675 SS. So for throttle response, I'm going to give it a 7. It's got that torquey triple with a strong response, but it's a little punchy in first gear and a bit abrupt at low speeds. For agility, I'm giving this thing a 9. It is shockingly easy to flick around in traffic and feels absolutely locked and planted in the corners. Now for brakes, I'm going to give the bike a 6. The J-John setup in the ABS gets the job done, but it lacks the bite and the feel you'd want out of a real sporty bike. Acceleration wise, I'm going to give it an 8. That 95 horsepower triple plus a great up-only quick shifter gives plenty of real world shove and a solid 40 to 80 pull, even if I totally messed up the gearing. Suspension wise, I'm giving it a 9. That adjustable KYB suspension and on-the-fly adjustable steering damper make the bike feel super stable on the highway and locked in mid-corner. Now for comfort wise, it is a sport bike and I'm going to give it a 6. It's got that surprisingly comfy seat and the low vibrations, but the aggressive body position, low windscreen, and the long-term wrist/leg fatigue is going to hold it back. Now for tech, I'm giving this thing an 8. 5-inch colored TFT dash, traction control, tire pressure and temperature readouts, quick shifter, and adjustable dampers are impressive at this price point, even without ride modes. Now for ease of use, I'm going to give the bike a 5. It's got that punchy low speed throttle, no power modes, mushy indicator cancel, and that slightly awkward kickstand tab make it less friendly, especially for newer riders. Now for versatility, I'm going to give the bike a 5. It can definitely commute and do those highways and twisties, but it's very sport focused with the aggressive ergos, the minimal wind protection, so it's not an all-day or all-purpose machine. Now for fun for the money, this bike's got to get a 9. It undercuts the entire class by $1,000 while still feeling premium and exciting. You're getting 450 SS on sport steroids. Without an obvious place, they cheaped out. So guys, that's going to give us a ride total of 39, a usability total of 33 for a final chase score of a 72.
Alrighty guys, that's the chase score for the 2025 CFMoto 675 SS. You guys let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments down below. Guys, I've done my best here to find out where they're saving that money and being able to undercut the entire market, and I can't find it. The bike feels really fun and very sporty, and I kind of love this motorcycle as a next step if you started out on the CFMoto 450 SS. It's a totally different style of engine, so you're going to have that to learn and check out because the 450 SS is a parallel twin. But if you started out on a 450 SS, you're going to be kind of used to that punchy low down power. So this bike is essentially going to be slightly sportier, and it's going to give you that punchy power down low that the 450 SS has, but it's also going to give you some top end because of it being a triple. So I guess kind of the ideal rider, coincidentally, is a person that started out riding on a 450 SS from CFMoto. They really like that motorcycle. They like the looks of it, but they want a little more power, and they've realized that they like riding sporty. This is a phenomenal upgrade. You're gonna get the punchy power that you got with the 450 SS down low with the triple, but you're also gonna get a little more power high up, and you're gonna be getting going way faster, and you're gonna be in a more sporty body position on this motorcycle. It has a lot of the same look characteristics as the 450 SS. You're gonna be used to the screen and the controls. You're just gonna have basically a 450 SS on sport steroids is what this motorcycle is. I kind of, wow. Hell yes. I really like this motorcycle. I didn't think I was going to because, you know, I'm older now, so sport bikes don't really do it for me. But this thing is actually super cool. I was worried when I saw the pricing being $1,000 under all of its competitors. I was like, oh, that sucks. There's going to be a weakness there. And the weakness is the brakes currently, but those could beat in. I don't really know. Anyways, guys, this thing's been awesome. I'm going to make more content on it as we have it as a loaner. If you guys want any specific content, drop them in the comments down below. I will do my absolute best to get that content out for you guys while I have this thing on loan. Make sure to share this video out. There's a playlist for more first rides on other bikes we've done first rides on in the description down below. You guys go out there and ride safe on whatever you're riding, and I'm Chaseontwowheels. I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.